Most of you still aren't subscribed. What are you waiting for? Also, I'm doing a giveaway. Stay tuned for the end of the video to find out how you can win 700 gems in Storybook Brawl. Enjoy. What is up, everybody? I'm NoLucksGiven, and today we're going to be taking a look at my first game on the new patch, the January patch that will consist of the month of February. Not really sure on the naming convention for how I should refer to patches, but it's the patch that released in the end of January. And whenever a new patch comes out, there's always one question that comes up again, is what should Gwen be knighthooding in this patch? And in this video, we're going to be exploring one of those options. I would even love to knighthood this kitty cut purse here because if it had the +1/+1 already on it, then it would be a 3/3 and you'd be like definitely slaying and gaining 2 gold per turn. It's certainly worth considering still, just to get you even farther, but I think at this point I'm just going to hang on to the knighthood. It's worth considering though, and there was definitely part of my thought process that went into the fact that I'm playing up against a Sharebear here. So Sharebear, we're going to have 5 gold next turn. If we slay with the kitty cut purse, then we'd have 6 gold. If we slay with an upgraded kitty cut purse, then we have 7 gold. So it doesn't actually, like 7 doesn't allow me to purchase an additional unit, nor would I like want to do that or be able to do that, but I think it winds up working out okay here because we're up against this Humpty Dumpty and we're just going to get denied regardless, so just would have lost some gold. And an interesting choice to make here, but I think I go for, do I go for the unicorn and then just skip this treasure? Oh, you know what? Needle Nose Daggers seems great. Yeah, I don't want to skip this treasure while I've got Crafty, and Needle Nose Daggers seems absolutely wonderful with the unicorn, the kitty cut purse, and the Crafty. So all of that's pretty good. I couldn't remember this part of the game. It winds up, our board changes for us pretty significantly, but now that I think about it, I did remember the daggers, and an early treasure is just going to make Crafty that much stronger. It's also going to make the kitty cut purse that much stronger. It was honestly a really lucky treasure to be able to grab. Would I knighthood the kitty cut purse here? Again, after casting the Witch's Brew on it. I think that I might, but obviously these are all just hypotheticals. All right, can we hang on to the daggers? Looks like we will be able to. And we'll hit our opponent for a nice chunk of damage there, 5 damage, because we've got an upgraded unit. And then we see in this first shop, we've got a Princess Wight and we've got 2 dwarves. Now, this might not always be a way that this can work out, because you're not always going to find Wight on 3.0, and when you find Wight, she's not always going to come along with 2 dwarves. But when she does, I think that this is a pretty wonderful opportunity to just immediately knighthood her. And I think that this is going to be quite powerful. Probably want to sell one thing for either the lucky or the doubly. Might even want the doubly just because we've got the daggers, but I think we're strong enough. An 8/8, a 6/8, a 6/4, this is all pretty fantastic. I'm going to frontline the lucky. This will deny them their slays and also ensure that the lucky dies, because I don't want to chance the lucky just being too big that it won't be able to die in the early game. So excellent combat RNG for the lucky, and then we should have enough stats to just barely win this combat. We're going to win with 1 unit left over. Get to keep the Needle Nose Daggers. The lucky lands on the doubly. Our luck continues. So we'll be picking that up, and then we'll be trying to pick up some more dwarves. And you can just see here the strength of that, being able to pick up an 11/11. There's also a chance that Princess Peep is strong enough for us right now because it summons 3/3s with the fact that we have this unicorn, but all of this seems great. I'm going to pick a pretty similar unit. I'm going to pick up the donkey, which I think is pretty similar to Princess Peep in that regard, because it's got the bonus health from the unicorn, and then it is also summoning minions that at least have bonus attack. So let's jump ahead a little bit here, but you can see how this is a really strong start on these first few opening turns. The only person that gave us some trouble was that Share Bear in level 2 that hit us for 5, but now it looks like things are going great. Our doubly with 13 health is going to be able to battle some things and survive. Our donkey is looking great. That's going to be able to summon some 4/2s. So all of this is just going pretty wonderfully and is just pretty strong. From here, the game isn't anything too crazy. I mean, we're playing dwarves, right? And we're just going to be looking for some more dwarves. I probably don't want to True Love's Kiss this Wight, so I probably don't want to True Love's Kiss at all. I probably just want to roll and try to pick up some more dwarves. But one thing that this video will do is showcase some of the new angles of dwarves in this patch. So Wight is now really interesting because it pumps the units. It's if I take Wight off of this board, if I sell the Wight even, my units will still be just as strong. It just impacts my ability to scale future units. An interesting decision to make here because this shop has obviously that sparkly little Lucky, but it also has this Fanny that I also want to be able to pick up. And I think I oversell a little bit because I might have not noticed the Fanny exactly. So I think at this point, I guess I'm just going to be picking up the health potion. Might even forget to do so because I was just looking at other things. I think what happened was I saw the Lucky because it was sparkly, and then I saw the Fanny. And I had already oversold, but the Fanny is still the better pickup. So I just went for the better pickup to have the stronger board so that I could keep my needle nose daggers. Turns out it doesn't matter. We are so much stronger than our opponent here, and we are going to hit this Merlin for 10, and they're not happy about it. So then we will go for the Lucky, and now we're level 4. A Lady of the Lake is not horrible, especially on a doubly, but I'm just going to roll. We just need to find 2 more dwarves. Hopefully you guys can still see me. All right, looks good. We just need to find 2 more dwarves, and then we get a tier 3 treasure with Princess Wight, which isn't really the reason that you play it. You don't really play it for the treasure. You play it for the fact that it is pumping all of your dwarves so incredibly in the early game, and is just going to give you a ton of stats at this point in the game. Go for a Mask Ball. Don't find anything of use here. But yeah, from here, like, we don't have to play dwarves. We're going to buy at least 1 more because we want the treasure. But then at that point, we could totally transition off of dwarves. And we have to... there's me just taking a little screenshot just to show one of my friends that I think Wight plus Gwen is pretty good again. Wight changes every single patch. Every single patch has brought a change to Princess Wight. They just haven't quite gotten it Wight yet. And we are, in previous patches, there have been some really good Wights tonight. And the the December patch was not a good Wight. That was not a Wight you wanted tonight. But this Wight is all right. And it's not going to be the best Wight, but it is still going to be good enough that Knighthoods do work out on it. So we'll pick up our tier 3 treasure here. I think I bought the Brave Princess just because it was free, right? This is awkward because I really want a treasure with this pair of crafties, but these treasures are kind of terrible. So I'll pick up Ring of Revenge, not too happy about it, and then pick up a crafty immediately afterwards. Just going to reorder my board for this crafty to fall into place. Ring of Regen is fine, but we're at 35, so let's go for Fairy Tale. And Fairy Tale works just the same as Princess Wight does, and could mean that maybe we will be able to start finding some doublies, pick up some triplies, or we could go into Friendly Spirit. Oh, that's what I do. I toss the needle nose daggers just in case. Okay, that's fine. Little bit of a risk-averse play. It takes a bunch of attack off of our doubly, but is honestly pretty fine. I can sell 2 units here to pick up a greedy, and I think that I shall, and then I'll put the greedy in the fanny spot, and that will give us some additional gold to potentially find some more dwarves here. What's awkward is now that we've completed the quest on Wight, like, she's not any better. It's not like we unlock to an additional level on Princess Wight, so it makes her feel a little bit mediocre, but it's really just psychological. The fact is that she was really insane up until this point, and now she's good. So that is basically what we were looking at. Could potentially have cut the Wight for the Riverwash Mermaid. I think that might have been a good play. Put some additional stats on the doubly. I think I just didn't think of it at the time. And maybe we were just limited on time. We get 2 lucky hits on dwarves here in this shop, so we'll pick up the tiny and the Tweedledee, and at this point now I'm realizing, okay, I can cut the Wight. Cut the Wight stuff. Candy Rain is fine, but we've got, what's it called, Merlin's hat? Yeah, why am I blanking on that? We've got Merlin's hat, so I would much rather spend my gold on a spell that costs some gold. Maybe we could pick up some XP now or something, use the advantage that the dwarves have brought us to bring pain on the rest of the lobby. And speaking of advantage, wasn't the Sharebear the player that was doing really good earlier? Well, looks like they are dead, and we are now up to 39. So we're probably going to be able to wreak some revenge on the Sharebear and say, how dare you deal damage to us? Do you know who I am? I am? No, who do you think you are? I am. That's the quote there. I love that one. It's like from like a bowling championships. You guys know that meme? Yeah, he just like maybe he scores like a perfect game or something like that, and he just goes, yeah, who do you think you are? I am. Well, that is what we are going to be saying to this Sharebear as they hit us with the Ring of Meteors. Who do you think you are? I am. That is just going to make our angry even stronger and just going to give us an additional cash bonus with this greedy. So not only are we taking out this Sharebear, not only are we going to have some extra gold from the Sharebear, but we're also going to be walking away with some extra gold because of the greedy. Unfortunately, neither of our luckies go down, but that's just what happens when you're playing dwarves sometimes. Sometimes you get too strong and you're no longer getting your coin of Sharon bonuses or anything like that. Another Tweedledee seems great here. That's going to continue to make us stronger, and by the way, it seems like we're playing dwarves this game. So we are just sticking with it here, rolling with the dwarves, rolling with the punches. I will pick up a Fanny and add some additional stats to the board in that way. Fanny's really, really good with all of these Tweedledees that we have in the front. What else are we looking for? Well, there is a new dwarf. So maybe we could find that new dwarf sometime soon, and maybe this Masquerade Ball could help us find it. It'll roll the shop into a bunch of 5s. Unfortunately, no bossies nor angries. We do have the opportunity to pick up another greedy. Can easily sell this tiny that we have on the bench, not really doing anything with that, and pick up this greedy to potentially do some stuff with that later. Do have to consider, like, do I really want to play all of these Fannies? And is this our strongest board composition? Do I really want the greedy? Do I really want all these Fannies? But I do think it's good. Interesting consideration there for the Wish Upon a Star, because we could cast the Wish for 3 and then potentially roll into some Lordies. I do think that has some merit to it. Our Angry's going to survive, which is going to be nice. That's going to get us some additional stats on these Tweedles, and we are also able to take out my opponent's units pretty well with the Tweedles all in all together here. So large Tweedling units, they are going to get slightly smaller as our Fannies slowly die off, but honestly they did enough work that we are going to be able to hit the Sphinx for 8 down to 18. Then we get to pick up a triple on the greedy. So that's pretty fantastic. Going for the potion first in case we drop the hat. But I think we'll probably drop the Ring of Revenge before we drop anything else. Though at the same time, I really like this Fool's Gold on 5.2. I think the Fool's Gold's pretty good. And I don't think the Ring of Revenge is good, but we're not using the Merlin's Hat if we take the Fool's Gold. So I think we actually do drop the Merlin's Hat. So good on me for picking up that spell before we complete this unit. And then we have the option to pick up a Bossy. That seems pretty good. I'll play that and have to decide if I want the doubly in. I'd probably just want the crafty potentially in over one of these fannies. Could see that getting cut now. Roll a little bit more, and that is going to be it for the turn. I think I am going to stick with the same configuration of units. Looks like that is going to be the case. And now I will have 16 gold going into 6.0 to try to help us find Lordies. Up against Trophy Hunter, they are not going to be able to slay against an angry board like this, so we are doing great. They haven't even broken our front line, and when they do, that's just going to mean I summon even bigger units. They are going to kill the angry, but that's basically all she wrote, and they are going to give us a little bit of cash too, so we'll go... Oh, wow, they double cast that. Oh, awesome. Love that. That is going to mean that we hit my opponent for 13, and now I believe we've got 22 gold? 20 gold. Okay. Wasn't doing the math super optimally there, but we'll pick up another Bossy. Still have 15 gold left to go for the turn. Pick up another Bossy, still going to leave us with 9 gold, and we also get to pick up either Staff of the Old Toad or Hand of Midas, and this is a really, really tricky pickup. I think we want Staff. I think it's early enough that we want Staff. Maybe we'll be able to find this hand later if we pick up the Staff, because we'll be able to pick up some more tier 5 units. So now we are Dwarven. We're hand plus we're Fool's Gold, and we're doing some Dwarf moves right now. We will pick up another Angry, and that's what I was saying, is maybe we will be able to find a Midas later if we pick up some Angries now, so that is kind of the idea. And I don't think we need another Greedy. Awkwardly, we can't really get another doubly. Oh, but looks like I am going to go for another Greedy. Interesting, interesting. Okay, I don't remember that part of the game, but I think what I was thinking here is we're ahead enough of the rest of the lobby. Okay, this makes more sense. This is a little bit more risk averse. Basically, Greedy, its name speaks for itself. You play it if you're feeling a little bit greedy, if you think that you're strong enough that you're not going to be losing, and you want to try to steamroll your advantage into a little bit extra gold. So that is what I think I was like partially thinking, but I do think that ultimately that would be asking a little bit too much. We're going to win this combat pretty handedly though, so maybe I could have gotten a little bit greedier as we take out Peter Pants. And now remember, we are still a little bit up in XP, but the rest of the lobby should be hitting 6 soon. I like Echo Wood, but I don't love Echo Wood when we have not found the Lordy yet. Problem is, we're definitely picking up this Bossy. If we pick up the Echo Wood, we're not going to play it. It's just going to sit on the bench. And then we've got to try to find a Lordy, and we've already taken ourselves out of finding a Lordy this turn because we would be down 6 gold right now. So by the time we found a Lordy, we wouldn't be able to play it. Think we might cut the fannies here and put in some more Bossies. So now we've got a backline full of Bossies, getting to show that off on full display. Could decide to sell Fanny and I guess the Princess Wight and pick up the Greedy here, and that is what we're going to go for. The main thing that I'm thinking about with these Greedies is it would be kind of sweet to pick up a Dwarven Forge. Not sure I should really be wasting my time on that. You can see this lobby's almost over. Just trying to skip ahead here a little bit. But with this early Knighthood on Gwen, we're just so much stronger than the rest of the lobby. Now the Sphinx, hitting 6 this turn, was able to cast a free Knighthood on a good boy. So that's definitely strong. And going to represent some puzzle pieces here for my opponent. I think this means that the Sphinx is going to come out on top, and we're going to have to find a way to get some additional strength, because the Sphinx is quite strong now. They have that they've got two level 6 treasures, so they are quite a strong Sphinx. We are going to be looking for the Dwarven Forge though. Can we find it? Not quite. So I think this has to be a skip. Could be a Coin of Sharon, but don't really care for it. We are going to mostly now, I mean, we'll still look for ways to complete the treasures that we already have, and here we actually do get to pick up that Hand of Midas, so letting it float for a minute was fine. I definitely need to keep this staff because we need to now use this Hand of Midas on the Lordy. That is how we get back into this game. That is how we start to make some stronger things happen. So few more rolls, we aren't going to find it. Let's jump ahead, and they are going to pick us. You know what, let's jump back just so we can see all of these animations against Sharon. And oh yeah, excuse the tracker. The tracker was this was right when the game first updated, so the tracker wasn't up to date. I was trying to help it collect some data and things so that it could be up to date for everybody else. This Sharon actually looks strong. Here's me just looking at the bugged out tracker. Yeah, you will have to excuse those as I just look at some more things throughout the rest of the game. But now we've got the Ghost, and we could take Hercules, try to complete a tier 6 treasure that way, but we are also allowed to, this is something not everybody knows, kind of sounded Trumpian. Not everybody knows this. It's great. But you are allowed to triple units when you have a Hand of Midas, and that won't cost you your Midas. So we are going to pick that up. I don't want another Angry, though. I think that we can do better just finding a Lordy. So there we go. We find the Lordy. That is going to give us a huge amount of stats on the board. I'm going for it now at this point. And hopefully we can farm this Ghost as well. If we are able to farm this Ghost nicely, we can pick up 2 more slots for our board on the next turn. Maybe we could pick up a Tweedledee as well and find a 4th treasure. But we're going to be rocking with this Fool's Gold for a minute here. And it did good work for us. I saw in the comments on one of my videos the other day, somebody was like, oh, I never use Fool's Gold. That was sweet that you were able to make it work so well. And it is a little bit tricky because if you don't have Fool's Gold, then you have the higher chance to find like Knighthoods. But we don't even need Knighthoods on this board, so who needs Fool's Gold? And we are going to be getting a ton of gold from this combat, like I said, so that is pretty wonderful. Hopefully we can get a little bit more. Nice. Didn't get too many Sark triggers, but maybe one more Sark trigger before the combat is over. I'm also trying to look at my opponents, but Sharon's dead. So Sharon is now out of it, and it's just us versus the Sphinx. So we can pick up this Tweedledee. This will give us another treasure. Oh, but I actually decide not to, because basically what I want to do here is I want to pick up another unit or 2 that I can actually play and cut these greedies. That is what I'm thinking about. I want to make sure that we've got a strong enough board that I don't have to play this Sphinx too many more times. So I eschew picking up the Tweedledee. Honestly, might have been a mistake. Tweedledee upgraded is actually a really decent power spike on the board, but you can see, I mean, I needed this gold. I wind up full rolling down and just barely finding some more units. So I could sell 4 units here to pick up another Lordy. I don't hate it, but I don't like playing down a unit as dwarves, so I don't love it either. And I think that that is ultimately going to mean that we are just locking this shop. When you play down a unit as dwarves, your Lordies don't work as well, so it is it's just a little bit awkward. But yeah, you can imagine if I guess I would have had just enough gold if I had picked up that Tweedledee, but I would have been playing down a unit if I had picked up that Tweedledee triple. So this is the plan. Hopefully we can make it past this good boy. Attacking first is actually huge against my opponent. Because it will allow my Angry to trigger. And the fact that we are attacking second means that the Angry is not going to trigger, which is just a bunch of lost stats. So we're going to be taking some damage now. We're going to be taking 11 damage down to 3, but luckily we've still got some health left to play with. We pick up another Lordy, and in this shop is also the Echo Wood. I guess we take Pandora's Box. We could also just skip. Maybe skipping would have been better because now we're going to have to sell off one of our units. And I have to decide, do I want to keep these Tweedledees? And I think that I do because Tweedledee works so well with Echowood. So we're going to wind up selling the Bossy. I think I sold the smaller Bossy. It gets hard to tell. You got to take them both off the board because either, if you don't, then whichever one isn't on the board will always be the bigger one because Bossy doesn't pump itself. But we will lock into this Pandora's box. I'm not really sure there's too much of a tier 7 treasure that we can actually gain from that. But we're probably not tying. It seems really hard to tie, though actually if we win, we probably win by a pretty small margin. If we win, we probably hit our opponent for exactly 9, because we're probably left with just the Echowood. So the box probably is good. What could we box into, though? That is the trickier part, because Black Prism doesn't do anything for us. Mirror just does the very littlest amount. What other options are there? Midas won't, or Holy Grail won't matter in time. My opponent gets the first attack again, which is pretty unlucky. It's going to mean that we once again do not get to grow the Angry, but our Echowood gets to grow to really, really nice proportions here. And this Friendly Spirit, if that lands on the Echowood, that's great for us too, because that's going to mean that that doesn't pump. Oh, and we lose. So there you go. That is not going to wind up. We will get to see what the box turns into. Does turn into a Black Prism. That winds up being a second place finish, and we wind up falling a little bit short in that one. But I think it was still a good demonstration for Wight picking up Knighthood, which was the purpose of this video. Definitely right now, as the season is just starting, just trying to learn what things are good and prep up for this tournament. Getting those W's, getting those crowns isn't as important, though of course you still want to be able to get those too. But I think as a proof of concept, we were lucky in this game in that we had Wight with 2 dwarves in that shop and the needle nose daggers already. We were set up well in that early game. That said, I do think that there is a lot of potential for Knight on Wight. And I think that, yeah, this video demonstrates that and shows off some of the power of the current state of dwarves. But that is going to be it for me today for this video. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'm NoLucksGiven. Peace. I'm going to be giving away a 700 gem bundle at the end of this month, and here's how you can enter for your chance to win. First things first, subscribe to this channel. That won't enter you into the raffle, but you will have to be subscribed to win. In order to enter into the raffle, all you have to do is comment on a Storybook Brawl video, including this one. Every time you comment on a Storybook Brawl video on my channel this month, you'll get a raffle ticket for my January giveaway. If you comment on a video within the first 72 hours of me posting it, then you get 2 raffle tickets. And if you comment on a video within the first 24 hours of me posting it, I'll give you 3 raffle tickets. Might also offer more ways to enter in the future. I don't want to break the economy of this. I want the main way to enter to be commenting. So leave a comment right now. Let me know what you think of the giveaway and of the video. And thanks for watching.